The internet you use every day, Google, Facebook, YouTube, is just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it lies a hidden layer known as the dark web. It can't be accessed with Chrome or Safari. You need special tools like the Tor browser to reach websites ending with .onion. At first, the dark web was created for privacy and free speech. Whistleblowers, journalists, and people living under censorship used it to communicate safely. But soon, it became home to some of the most dangerous corners online. Illegal marketplaces, criminal forums, and disturbing services turned it into a hub of fear and curiosity. One of the earliest and most infamous examples was Silk Road. The Silk Road, Amazon of drugs. In 2011, a website appeared on the dark web. It looked simple, like an early version of eBay, but instead of books or gadgets, it sold drugs. Cocaine, LSD, heroin. Everything was available with just a few clicks. The founder, Ross Ulbricht, ran it under the alias Dread Pirate Roberts. His idea was to create a free market where people could buy and sell anything without government control. Payments were made in Bitcoin, which was almost untraceable at the time. Buyers and sellers rated each other, just like Amazon reviews. Within 2 years, Silk Road had made over $1.2 billion in sales. It became the largest online black market. But it also became the #1 target for the FBI. In 2013, Ross Ulbricht was arrested in a San Francisco library. The FBI shut down Silk Road, but by then, the dark web had already changed forever. Silk Road showed criminals worldwide that the internet could be used for global illegal trade, and it was just the beginning. After Silk Road, Alphabet and Hansa. When Silk Road fell, new marketplaces rose up. The biggest one was Alphabet. It sold everything: stolen credit cards, fake passports, weapons drugs, malware kits to hack computers. At its peak, Alphabet had 200,000 users and made millions every month. But in 2017, law enforcement launched Operation Bayonet. It was an international takedown involving the FBI, Europol, and Thai police. The Alphabet founder, Alexandre Kazes, was arrested in Thailand. A week later, he was found dead in his jail cell. The official report said suicide. At the same time, another market called Hansa was secretly taken over by Dutch police. For weeks they let it run, collecting the data of thousands of criminals. Then they shut it down, causing a huge panic across the dark web. These takedowns proved that even in the darkest corners, law enforcement was watching. But for every site that disappears, new ones rise in its place. The dark web is like a hydra. Cut off one head and 2 more appear. In the next part, we'll go deeper into the cybercrime forums, where hackers trade tools, data, and secrets. These aren't marketplaces for drugs or guns. They're schools of crime, teaching anyone how to become a digital criminal. And some of them are still active today. When people think of the dark web, they often imagine drug markets or illegal shops. But one of the most dangerous corners lies inside cybercrime forums. These aren't places where you buy products. They are schools for criminals, where hackers gather, trade knowledge, and recruit new members. Carding forums, the business of stolen credit cards. One of the biggest industries on the dark web is carding. Carding means stealing credit card details and selling them online. Forums like Carder Planet in the early 2000s and later Brian's Club became hotspots for this trade. Hackers would post databases with thousands of stolen card numbers. Buyers could purchase them for as little as $10 and then use them to shop online or create fake cards. The scale was massive. In 2019, Brian's Club alone was hacked by law enforcement, revealing 26 million stolen credit cards worth over 414 million tolums. That was just one site, and there are dozens more. Dark web hacker forums. Beyond credit cards, these forums also host tutorials. How to hack Wi-Fi. How to break into bank accounts. How to build ransomware. For a price, you can even buy ready-made malware kits. These allow anyone, even beginners, to launch attacks. This has created a terrifying trend. Cybercrime as a service. You don't need to be a genius hacker anymore. On the dark web, you can hire one. There are services where you pay in Bitcoin, give a target, and someone else does the hacking for you. Breach forums, the hacker marketplace. One of the most infamous modern forums was breach forums. It became the go-to place for leaking stolen databases. When a major company was hacked, like Twitter, Facebook, or even government agencies, chances were the stolen data would end up on breach forums. Names, emails, passwords, even medical records, all sold to the highest bidder. In 2023, the FBI finally shut down breach forums, but just like Silk Road, others are waiting to take its place. Why hacker communities are dangerous. Unlike drug markets that affect individuals, hacker forums can take down entire industries. When millions of stolen logins are leaked, banking systems collapse. When ransomware tools spread, hospitals shut down. In 2021, the Colonial Pipeline attack led to fuel shortages across the United States. The malware used, sold and shared through dark web communities. This shows the true danger of these forums. They are not just online clubs. They are breeding grounds for cyber attacks that affect the real world. The hidden hierarchy. What makes these forums scarier is their secret hierarchy. New users must prove themselves, sometimes by hacking small sites or leaking stolen data. Only then do they gain access to the inner circles, where bigger crimes are planned. Some forums even run like corporations, with admin teams, customer service, and profit-sharing models. It's an underground economy, and it's growing every year. The dark web may be hidden, but its impact is felt everywhere. And if hacker forums are the brains of cybercrime, then the next corner is the heart of fear itself. In the next part, we'll step into the most terrifying legends of the dark web, the infamous Red Rooms. These are said to be live-stream torture shows, but are they real or just urban myths? The answer may surprise you. Among all the stories of the dark web, one legend terrifies people more than any other: the Red Rooms. These are said to be secret live streams where people are kidnapped, tortured, or even killed, while viewers pay in Bitcoin to watch, and sometimes even vote on what happens next. The idea itself is horrifying. But the big question is, are Red Rooms real? The legend of Red Rooms. The story of Red Rooms has circulated for years. Posts on Reddit, creepypasta forums, and YouTube videos describe them as hidden sites that only the elite can access. The legend says you need special invitation codes, huge amounts of cryptocurrency, and connections with dangerous people just to enter. Once inside, you see a live video feed of a victim, and the audience pays to decide their fate. It sounds like something out of a horror movie. But the fear comes from the possibility that it could exist. Investigations and evidence. Many journalists and cybercrime researchers have tried to find proof. The BBC, Vice, and Motherboard all investigated claims of Red Rooms. What they found were mostly scams. Websites pretending to be Red Rooms would ask users for Bitcoin deposits, but once the money was sent, the site vanished. Law enforcement agencies also say they've never found a real Red Room. Even the FBI, which has taken down some of the biggest dark web markets, states there is no verified evidence that such live torture streams exist. Why people believe. So why does the myth refuse to die? Because the dark web is full of disturbing content that already pushes the boundaries of human cruelty. Real cases of child exploitation, illegal surgeries, and extreme violence videos have been discovered online before. If those exist, then Red Rooms don't seem impossible. And that's what makes the legend so powerful. Even if no real Red Room has been proven, people believe in them because they fit perfectly into the nightmare image of the dark web. The psychology of fear. The Red Room story also taps into a deeper fear. It's not just about violence. It's about the idea that somewhere out there, wealthy people could be paying to watch the worst crimes imaginable, and no one can stop them. That sense of helplessness makes the legend scarier than most horror movies. The verdict. So, are Red Rooms real? All available evidence says no. Every Red Room site found so far has been a scam. Researchers and hackers who have spent years exploring the dark web confirm they've never seen one. But in the end, the truth doesn't matter. The legend itself has become one of the most disturbing corners of the internet. It keeps people awake at night, and it has inspired countless horror stories. The Red Room may not exist, but the fear it creates is very real. Transition to next part. If Red Rooms are myths, the next corner of the dark web is filled with no such doubt. These are hitman services, websites that openly claim they can arrange murders for hire. But are they real businesses, or just scams designed to exploit fear and greed? If there's one type of dark website that truly chills the soul, it's the so-called hitman for hire services. Imagine opening a website that looks like a marketplace, but instead of selling books or electronics, it offers assassinations. Targets listed by name, prices based on location, and payment requested in Bitcoin. It sounds like the plot of a crime movie, but these sites have been discovered again and again on the dark web. The websites' names like Besa Mafia, Cosa Nostra, and Hitman Network have appeared over the years. They claim to provide professional killers for hire. Some advertise express packages, where for a set fee, you can have someone taken care of within weeks. These sites list detailed menus: beating, $2,000, shooting, $20,000, kidnapping, $30,000, high-profile target, negotiable. The websites are designed to look convincing. They have reviews, testimonials, and even customer support. But the truth is far stranger. The reality: mostly scams law enforcement and cybersecurity experts have studied these sites closely. What they found is that most, if not all, are elaborate scams. Here's how they work. Someone desperate, maybe jealous of a rival or angry at a spouse, finds the site. They pay thousands in Bitcoin, but instead of arranging a killing, the site owners simply disappear with the money. In other words, the hitman is just a scammer preying on people's darkest desires. Real cases. One of the most infamous examples was Besa Mafia. This dark website claimed to be the biggest hitman network in the world. In 2016, hackers broke into the site's database. What they found was shocking. Hundreds of messages from people around the world ordering hits on neighbors, business rivals, and even family members. Some were deadly serious. Others were bizarre, like one person asking for a prank kidnapping to scare a friend. But not a single job was ever confirmed to be carried out. The site had collected thousands of dollars in Bitcoin payments and simply scammed its customers. Why it's still terrifying. Even if most hitman sites are fake, the idea itself is terrifying, because it shows how far people are willing to go when given the illusion of anonymity. The messages in the Besa Mafia leak proved one thing: the demand is real. People really do want to hire killers online, and some are willing to pay big money for it. That alone makes this corner of the dark web one of the most disturbing. The danger of belief. The biggest risk of these sites isn't that they actually deliver assassins. It's that people believe they do. Someone may pay a fake hitman site, then take matters into their own hands when nothing happens. In this way, the dark web indirectly fuels real-world violence. Transition to next part. Hitman services may mostly be scams, but they reveal a dark truth. The internet can expose the darkest desires of human nature. And in the next part, we'll explore one final corner of the dark web: the disturbing world of human trafficking networks. These aren't myths or scams. These are real cases where authorities uncovered terrifying crimes hidden deep in the shadows. Of all the disturbing corners of the dark web, perhaps none is more horrifying than human trafficking. We're talking about real people, women, children, and even men, treated like products, bought, sold, exploited. And unlike many hitman sites or red rooms that turn out to be scams, these networks are tragically very real. Hidden marketplaces. In 2015, Europol and Interpol carried out major investigations into hidden online marketplaces. Buried inside forums, authorities uncovered encrypted advertisements for human trafficking victims. Some were offered as forced labor, others for sexual exploitation, even children. Payments were requested in cryptocurrency. Deals were arranged via encrypted messaging apps. The sickening part? Some ads were written as if they were selling used cars. Cold, mechanical, as if lives had no meaning. Real case, Operation Onymous. One of the most chilling cases came during Operation Onymous in 2014. This was a global crackdown on dark web markets. Alongside drug listings, investigators found disturbing evidence of trafficking operations. The details revealed women from Eastern Europe and Asia being sold into sex slavery. Victims were promised jobs, only to be trapped in horrific conditions. While many ads were taken down, new ones kept appearing. It's a cycle that still hasn't stopped. Why it's hard to stop. Unlike drugs or illegal weapons, trafficking involves real human lives. Victims are silenced by fear. Often, they don't even know how to reach out for help. And because the dark web uses encryption and anonymous servers, tracking these networks is extremely difficult. Even when a site is shut down, another one often appears within weeks. It's like cutting off one head of a hydra. 2 more grow back. Survivors' voices. What makes this even more chilling are the testimonies from survivors. In one case, a young woman from Eastern Europe escaped after being sold through a hidden forum. She revealed that traffickers used the dark web to find buyers, but communicated on apps like Telegram and Signal to finalize the deals. Her words were haunting. On the screen, I was nothing but a file, a picture, a number, a price. Stories like hers remind us that behind every listing is a real human being. Why this corner matters. Most drugs, weapons, fake hitman sites, they're all disturbing. But human trafficking is proof that the dark web can and does destroy lives. It's not just an urban legend. It's not a scam. It's real. And it continues to this day. The dark web was originally designed for privacy and freedom. But like any tool, it became corrupted. From Red Room legends to disturbing trafficking networks, these hidden sites show us the darkest sides of humanity. And while many stories are myths, others are horrifyingly true. That's why awareness matters. Because the more we understand, the harder it becomes for criminals to hide in the shadows. If you've stayed with me till now, thank you for watching. If this story opened your eyes, don't forget to share this video with your friends. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know what you think about these dark corners of the internet. And most importantly, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss the next deep dive into the unknown. Because what we've explored today is only the beginning. There are still countless mysteries lurking in the dark.